You do realize that if an American president uses the American military on American citizens on American soil, he's declaring war on the American people. You understand that, right? And if Trump does that, if Trump uses the American military on American citizens on American soil, the American people will fight back against him. We'll have no choice but to fight back against him. You understand that?
Fight back, huh? I mean, we all want to fight back, but how exactly has fighting back worked in the previous times? There are always protests, and yet nothing ever happens. Hey, beautiful people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for stopping by, supporting your girl always on this channel. All credit goes to the creators in these videos. And guys, in today's video,
that Donald Trump wants the homeless people to move out of DC immediately. Well, buddy, I have some news for you. Your policies that you have been implementing, including the big bullshit bill, is going to make a whole lot more homeless people coming up. If you don't want homeless people, then you should put money into mental health services. You should put money into jobs programs. You should put money into healthcare programs. Instead, you've cut all of those things and are going to make people, a lot of people become homeless because they're not going to have these services or anything anymore, and they're already on the brink. Also, DC doesn't have a crime problem that's any different than any other city. Like, every city has problems. When you have this many people together and you have poverty, you are going to have crime. So maybe if you don't want crime, you should put things in place that make sure that people aren't desperate enough to turn to crime. But instead, Republicans say, screw you and pull yourself up by your bootstraps, even though there are no bootstraps to be pulled up from. I'm so tired of Republicans blaming poor people and homeless people for problems that they could solve if they just didn't give trillions of dollars to millionaires and billionaires just a few weeks ago. Like, get real.
I mean, that's on period, right? Fix the root cause of the issue. Because removing these homeless people from the streets will not fix the root cause of the issue. It's just removing them, right? Just to clear the air. Just to see that, oh, okay, everything is clear. Everything looks safe and sound. Because Trump mentioned something about making everywhere look good, especially in preparation for the Olympics and preparation for the World Cup, right? So apparently it sent the National Guard into the streets to physically remove these homeless people from key areas, right? And they are saying that it's to restore order in quotes and to make the streets safe again. And this reaction has been explosive because people are not having it. Apparently, according to them, they are saying it's hurting local businesses, scaring off tourists, right? And it's giving the capital an unsafe image. I ask again, unsafe image for who? Unsafe image for what? Because looking at it, being homeless is not a crime, right? These people are victims of circumstances. I mean, if you go ahead and ask them, they didn't choose to be homeless. Most of them did not choose to be homeless. Being homeless is not a crime. It's just a sign of poverty. And I believe sending in soldiers would not fix the root cause. The root cause of this issue will not be fixed by just gathering them up and sending them out, because gathering them up right from their encampment, some of them have been in that encampment for a long time, for years, and it will just scatter them to other neighborhoods, and it will give them fewer resources and less safety, and it will make it dangerous for them, especially with winter that is coming. I don't exactly know the plan that the government has, right, after rounding them up and picking them up and taking them off the streets. But guys, there are bigger questions about how America addresses homelessness, because I believe that this problem did not spring forth overnight. Some of these people have been there for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, spent most of their time there, because this homelessness has been fueled by sky high rent. Recently, I posted a video about how everything is so freaking expensive, right? So, sky high rent, Stagnant wages, minimum wages have been on the same level for the longest of time, and shortage of all these mental health and addiction services. And now that everything is just being shut up and down, guys, where do these people turn to? Let's see what these creators have to say.
I hate more than a white supremacist, but then a close second is somebody who follows out a white supremacist orders. Yes, what Trump is doing is absolutely horrible. And also, are we going to come to grips with the fact that the people who are carrying out these orders are everyday folk? The police departments, military, ICE, these are y'all's aunties, uncles, brothers, sisters, cousins. And you will never convince me that just because you may have voted differently, that you deserve any sort of respect. For you to be in the military carrying out orders to where you are militarizing your own country, you are a traitor. And we already know that police are not here to protect and serve, but y'all are still going to try to convince us that there's a such thing as good cops. So where are y'all at? Which one of y'all are out here saying, nah, we not doing that? Where? Because in DC and LA specifically, it ain't just white folks behind those badges, unlawfully harassing, arresting, and detaining people who look like them. So again, Trump is horrible as the day is long, but what does that make you for carrying out his orders?
Trump says beautification, what he really means is final solution. This thought hit me like a ton of bricks earlier when I was reading his Truth Social post from today, in which he was bragging about the news conference that he wants to hold tomorrow. It's largely expected in that news conference that he will federalize the National Guard and send troops into DC in a takeover of the nation's capital. And as if that isn't alarming enough, I want to talk about a specific word that he chose in his second Truth Social post and even put in quotations: beautification. When he started this train of thought earlier in the day in his first post, he posted multiple pictures of homeless encampments and tents and talked about how they were making the city ugly. But it wasn't the tents that he was worried about, it's the people that he's worried about, because each time he referenced something in his first post, it was not the trash, it was not the crime, it was not tents, it was people. Homeless people and criminals specifically. Then in his second post, he actually put in quotations beautification. And then he talked about sprucing up federal buildings and the amount of money that's been used at the Fed for renovating that historical building. But the bottom line is he keeps returning back to people as the source of the ugliness in DC. He also says that he'll send homeless people far away from the capital, that they have somewhere to stay, but doesn't reference exactly where that place is. And all of this language mirrors very closely the language he has used for years now against migrants. Donald Trump has his own secret police force in ICE. They wear masks, they round people up off the streets, and I can promise you they will use ICE to target homeless people. Once ICE has these homeless people, many of whom are US citizens, in their custody, the white supremacist version of beautification.
Donald Trump says he wants every homeless person in Washington, D.C. to move out immediately and relocate far from the Capitol. So what would enforcement actually look like? Political affiliation aside, I wouldn't doubt Donald Trump. Whether you like him or don't like him, he has a tremendous ability to get things done, whether they are legal or not. He will make precedent if he has to. In Washington, D.C., local law enforcement is under the mayor, not the president. The president could clear homeless folks from federal property, but what he'll probably do is pressure city officials to act. But forcing the city to remove folks from the streets is legally pretty shaky. The Home Rule Act gives DC a degree of self-governance, and courts will likely get involved very quickly. The bigger story here isn't whether Trump can legally pull this off. It is what his statement signals. We're in a brand new era of homelessness right now, and the general public is frustrated. Now, they might trust social services to help someone with housing, but they have lost trust in social services to deal with the behavior of chronic homelessness and the impact on the community. And when the general public loses trust in that, guess who they put their trust in? Elected officials, even when their ideas are aggressive and controversial.
Is demonstrating his authoritarian ambitions by sending the military into Washington, D.C. to do policing. The lie that he's telling is it's about crime. Crime is actually down. And while we can do better, this is not a sufficient excuse for Donald Trump to assert power over the police in D.C. and to send in the military to do civilian police work. They're not trained to do civilian police work. It's dangerous. Moreover, Donald Trump is also using these types of actions to intimidate Democratic mayors and mayors of blue cities who disagree with him. This is the United States of America, where we tolerate dissent, where we encourage dissent, not use the military or such emergency powers to stifle people who disagree with us, and let alone the President of the United States, who is the president of a Democratic Republic.
Trump bringing the forces into goddamn D.C., I ain't shocked at all. He calling it everything but what it is. Martial law. Trump knew what he was doing from the get-go, okay? Trump showing out and trying to make sure that police had an upper hand to where basically law enforcement is going to be trying to control the public. We knew that this was going to be going on, especially with what he was saying, what he was running on for his presidency. But this is getting outrageous. Now, we are up to the point where the D.C. mayor did clap back saying that this is outrageous. How you going to do something like this? Especially when D.C. crime has just dropped over 26%. He talking about doing this in other big cities as well. California, Atlanta, all different cities. And it's like, bruh, what are you trying to prove? It's like everything that he's trying to come out with laws with are against urban communities, i.e. people that look like me. Okay? Now, he's trying to say it's the better communities and stuff like that. But honestly, it's starting to look like you trying to just control black people. Now, if that's your idea, because why? We didn't go to those fields you was talking about, you thought we was going to get back to black jobs? Huh? Well, you can bring all the goddamn National Guards you want to. Niggas ain't picking no cotton no more, and we ain't shucking no goddamn corn. Huh? Trump said he bringing the forces into big cities. He's starting with D.C. D.C.'s mayor is kind of pushing back on it. But he also said he's going to see how this goes, and he's going to start doing it in other cities, and he's going to let police do whatever they want and be able to do their job. We all know what that means. Get your life insurance together, because if you stand for something, you're going to have a problem. I'm just here to bring y'all the news. I'm just a messenger.
I love this guy's energy. He's like, don't come for me. I'm just a messenger, right? Guys, what do you think about this in the comment section? Because looking at what is happening now, the first thing you're going to notice is that, everything is looking all neat and shiny for a moment, right? People will be snapping pictures without a single tent in the background. Business owners will be smiling. People will be like, and when I say people, I mean those that voted for him, will be like, look at our clean city. But guess what? Let's be real with ourselves. That's just on the surface level. Cute, right? Maybe you think so. But you're not fixing the problem. You're not removing the root cause. It's just like just moving a piece of furniture. People who get pushed out will just pop out somewhere else. Maybe in other neighborhoods, maybe under the bridges, maybe even in the suburbs, because out of sight, right, does not mean out of existence. They are still living. And for those that are being moved, it's a whole new struggle, right? Because like I said earlier, they have been used to that place. Just imagine losing the spot where you have had some safety, where you have lived for a couple of months, where you have lived for years, and where outreach workers can actually find you, right? You know the routine for food, you know where you get your things, you know how you go to the bathroom. It is stressful, it is unstable, because everything will be gone overnight. And looking at it, for them, it makes it difficult for them to get back on their feet, guys. And now that it's starting in DC, other cities might also copy this. So instead of building affordable housing, right, funding shelters, or improving mental health services, they just roll out the National Guard and make the problem, in quotes, disappear. Guys, I need to know what you think about this in the comment section, because you and I know that it's not a long-term plan and it's not solving anything. It's just like sweeping all the dirt under the rug. One day, the dirt is going to resurface, and by the time the dirt resurfaces, that's when the real debate is gonna eat up, because these are people with actual lives, actual struggles, actual stories. Yes, their lives might not look like, people that live in glass houses and all of that, but this is their life. This is what they are used to. This is their struggle. This is their routine. This is what they know. So is it just safe to say, oh, I'm picking you up and I'm taking you somewhere else, without actually thinking of how you feel about it? I need to know what you think about this in the comment section. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you have found value in this video, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I'll see you in my next video. Please stay safe. Mental health is important. Ciao.